Hello, and welcome back to the Cooter Villa channel. I'm Scott Cooper, and I'm here with Noah Fisher, and we are here to discuss Aston Villa versus Southampton from Saturday. Good game again, a good win, a clean sheet. Not maybe the best performance we've ever played, but look, it was horrendous conditions, and the main thing was the 3 points, which we got. 6 points in 3 days. We're going into a massive, crazy Christmas period. We'll be talking about all of that and much more coming up after this. And yes, welcome back to Cooter Villa on tour. I was just muted.
Cooter Villa on tour, you reckon?
Oh yeah, well we're on tour. Cooter Villa live. Yeah, that's what I meant. Cooter Villa live. We're back, and the team was back with another good result. Noah, good to have you back. Look, we'll start off talking about the game. I guess it was horrendous conditions in the UK. A few of the games were called off, especially a lot of the games lower down the leagues because of Storm Dara, I think it was. So yeah, it was a difficult game. There was quite a few empty seats at Villa Park because, understandably the conditions were awful. And it's kind of just one of those games that you just want to get the 3 points and get out of there because, Southampton, bottom of the league, we're expected to beat them. Look, they did have a few scary moments and quite a bit of the ball actually at times where we sort of maybe gave them a bit too much respect. But we got the goal relatively early. John Duran with a start, a rare start in the Premier League, and he got his goal. And all good. We're back into fifth.
Yeah, it seems that way. With the win, I know against bottom of the league, and we were hoping for a goal difference booster, but in conditions like that, you get the 3 points, you move on. I was going to see Duran get another goal. I think it's his second or third Premier League start for us. I know it's his first this season in the Premier League.
This season, yeah.
And Christine get a goal, well taken as well. We could have actually scored 3 or 4 in the first half, to be honest with you, Scott. But as I said, you get those 3 points. No one got injured, except for I think Bailey might have done a hammy.
Bailey's hurt his hamstring. I don't know how bad that is, but look, he wasn't playing that well anyway. So no. I guess.
I thought against Brentford he was actually looking okay. Like, was it 100% of his passes he completed against Brentford or something? Like, he was starting to build something. Obviously, not the form he had last year. But obviously, you'd never like to see a player go down. But who comes in? It's now a spot for Philogene Bidet if he wants to come in, or does we go a different formation and play McGinn out on the right like we've seen before, or who knows? It'll be interesting because it's a massive game coming up, Scott.
Yes, there's a lot of massive games coming up. We'll get into that a bit later, but I wanted to talk about the Duran goal that you touched on. It was a great goal, and I loved a lot about it. And first of all, he takes the ball off the defender. Good hustle, good pressure, nicks the ball away. But my favorite part of the goal was the next part, and that's when the defender comes across to try and nick it off him, and he just sort of goes bang and like, get off, like leave, just sort of slaps him down and goes, nah, you're not taking this ball.
I think you copied that move off you, Scott. I think you copied that off you. I've seen you use that a lot.
I've done it once or twice, but I've got a bigger frame than John Duran. He's probably stronger than me, but I've got a bit more circumference, so it works quite well. But it's just such a mature striker move that's a Didier Drogba that reminds me of. That's a someone like that. It was just like, he backed himself just to stand his ground and say, get off me,
Absolutely.
and then gave him that half a yard so he could compose and finish, which is exactly what he done.
Nice it's all he needed that as well.
Nice little left foot curler.
It was, and that's what he's kind of become known for now, Scott. I think like most of his goals this season, a couple of absolute bangers, but he has that ability. What was the goal in the Champions League? Where he just the one that was offside against Bruges, or the foul that I know, he just curled it around perfectly. He has that ability to do it, and as a backup striker, I mean, he wants to be starting games, and I think it was a nice little break for Watkins. He looks a bit knackered over recent weeks, and we have a massive couple of weeks coming up. We've got Leipzig, Forest, and then City. Probably some of the biggest weeks of our season. Obviously, it's a lot of games because it's Christmas time, and and Duran's going to have a lot of opportunities, I think.
He will, and it'd been a few weeks since he got a goal, so I think he probably needed one as well, which is good to see. And then after we spoke so highly about Mings and Konsa last week against Brentford and how well they played, he switched it up again, and it was Diego Carlos and Pau Torres in the middle this time. Konsa moved out to right back. So, it's good to know that the squad is getting bigger and better, and guys are sort of coming into form throughout the team. I think he'll freshen up again for Leipzig, and I could see maybe more of the side that played Brentford in midweek, back in, and because that's a huge game against Leipzig, and I think that's massive. The Emery's targeted, because I think if we're going to finish in that top 8 of the Champions League and get automatic qualification to the round of 16, we probably need to win 2 out of the last 3 games.
Yeah.
And with Monaco away, Leipzig away, Celtic at home, I think he said the Celtic at home and this Leipzig away game, just because they've lost every game. I think Monaco is going to be probably the tougher out of the 2 away games we got left. Monaco are only, I think, 3 or 4 points off PSG at the top of the table in France. They're having a really good season. They've got an interesting young team, and they're going to be tough. So, this Leipzig game, I think he's really said if we could, get 3 points here, that really sets us up. But going back to Southampton, Noah, like we said, I think the first half, there was a lot of chances. We could have maybe scored more. Morgan Rogers was great. Kamara was great. But one guy who maybe hasn't been as good in recent times, and I thought had a great game, was John McGinn, the captain. So great to see him back to sort of almost his best. He's using that frame. He's turning people. He's running. He's getting forward. And I think he needed a game like this because
I agree.
His form's been a little quiet, and he hasn't been the only one, but it's good to see him back.
Oh, absolutely! Like, I don't know, the midfield seems to be clicking now, Scott, a lot. I'm not sure if it's because Kamara is obviously the Rolls Royce that's in there. I think he's so important. I can't wait for Onana to get back in, but who do you drop? Is it a good chance to trial it with no Bailey? I think there's a lot of things that are up for grabs. I think like McGinn. I remember the interview that came out midway through last year, and he said, like, as soon as Emery came, he thought he was dropped. But he's just taking his game to the next level, and he keeps getting better and better every week. And it's just exciting times when he's up, when he gets his bum into people and he spins and just carries the ball. We're on.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And, there are a lot of decisions for Emery to make in that midfield now. And with all these games coming up, I think everyone's going to get their turn. Maybe against Forest on the weekend, we'll see, a different midfield altogether. He could go with Kamara, Tielemans, and McGinn on Tuesday night against Leipzig, and then Barkley, Onana, and Morgan Rogers or something. On next Saturday. So there's lots of options there. I really think. Let us know. Good to see Mohamed Adams back in there. Yeah, what's your best midfield? I think he's saying Onana, Kamara, and Yuri. I think we can play that. I think we will see that, especially maybe against the likes of City coming up.
That's what I was thinking.
Teams that might dominate the ball, and we need to be solid in there, because I think those 3, technically speaking, and maybe in terms of just overall, kind of upside and their peak performance are our three best, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Ross Barkley brings us something different. McGinn brings us something different.
All our midfielders do. All our midfielders bring something different. And one thing a couple of midfielders have in common is Kamara and Tielemans have that coolness about their play, and having both of them that just seem to create time and space from nothing.
Yeah.
Like that goal, the first goal against Brentford, and we're going back in time, but how Kamara had a play to his left, right, and behind him was able to spin out of it. Like that's just pure class. And the other thing, this guy's come back from an ACL injury. Like, what he can do is ridiculous. And as Mohamed Adam said, I think we can definitely play those three together. I think against Man City in a couple of weeks, that will be our midfield three.
Yeah. Well, I think Kamara is great. It's just so good to have him back, and he improves our team so much. But moving on, I want to highlight what Coxie said here, because I think this is the other story of the game. Just the fact that we're kind of not finishing our dinner right now. We're not blowing teams away. Yes, we scored 3 against Brentford in the first half. That was good. But we are creating so many good opportunities, and we've always been a team that plays on the front foot, plays an attacking, attractive style of football, passing style. We don't just hoof it long. We try and, break the lines. We get the likes of Rodgers and, Watkins and these guys on the ball and try and create stuff. So, but, we're just not finishing them. And there was a period at the end of the game that for the last 15 minutes when Southampton were throwing the kitchen sink at us, there were so many gaps. They were leaving only like 2 players back. And we had so many opportunities where we were 3-on-1, 3-on-2, 4-on-2. And Watkins especially just looks so timid right now.
That one and like the 91st minute, whatever it was, where he should have squared it to McGinn 400 years ago. And I know Watkins good at that little shimmy and going on his left, but just take the easy opportunity. Take the assist. McGinn would have absolutely buried that opportunity. I think I would have, and I can barely kick a football. So, it's just one of those things, isn't it?
Well, do you know what? I mean, like, if he had gone himself and missed, that wouldn't have been as annoying as what he did. Is he kind of just froze? He didn't do one or the other. Either give the early ball to McGinn or go yourself and be a one-eyed, greedy striker, and get a shot on target. Just don't do this sort of, this timid thing. And he's done it quite a bit. Like he's in previous games, I think Palace comes to mind, where he had a couple of chances where he just sort of dilly-dallied and took half a second longer than he needed to. And, it cost the team because the chance went, the defender gets a foot in, and you look like a real idiot. And, I mean, he is, one of the top strikers now. He's experienced. He's been at Villa for a long time now, and he's been around the England setup for a long time now, and this sort of thing, he needs to be better than that. And
he does. I agree.
And with John Duran taking goals like he took his goal against Southampton, there might have to be a serious conversation as to, I don't know, we play them both and Ollie gets put a bit wider or Ollie gets dropped. I don't know. It's I don't know. It's a difficult one, but yeah.
It's a fair comment.
Yeah. Yeah, making the chances is good. Absolutely. I would be more worried if we couldn't create a chance to save our life. But the good teams, like, they bury these teams early, and then you can take your foot off the gas. You can kind of manage the game. You can make subs, and you can look forward to the next game. We were still in a situation where Southampton could have nicked something at the end. They had a few crosses in those conditions with that blustery wind and the torrential rain. All it needs is a mistake, and it's 1-1. It's a Bournemouth again situation, and we're walking away thinking 2 points dropped.
I will say one thing: coming out of the last 2 games, I feel like we're carrying the ball a lot better. We're actually passing the ball a lot better. And as Lucas said, we will start taking these chances. Like against Brighton last season or the season before, we put 6 past them. There will be games we just don't miss. And it's going to be a big second half of the season where hopefully these things do change and we can't miss. Like, we might have one big chance for the game and score it, and that's all we have. We win 1-0. You know, another positive is a clean sheet. That's our second clean sheet for the season. Like, just take it.
Huge positive.
It wasn't a fancy win, Scott. It wasn't lustrous or anything, but we take it. We take it. We move on to Leipzig, and then the next 2 games of the Premier League are massive. Like, Forest are flying. They are absolutely flying, and away from home, not going to be easy. And then we got the reigning champions who are struggling, but they can flick it on just like anyone. They can literally just got to be on.
I mean, the game against Forest is like a huge match because we lost there last season. You know, we know that Forest at home are very difficult. You know, they've got a good team. They've got some great players. I think they're not in the top half of the table by fluke. They are a good side. They've got some really interesting players and a good coach. And we've just got to kind of just slap them down and go, no, go back to where you belong, back to the middle of the table. You know, you're not up here with us yet. You know, we got to really kind of stamp our authority and say, no, these Europa League, Champions League positions, we're going for them, and you're going back to where you belong. So
yeah, we have to definitely dominate it, don't we?
Yeah,
but how close is this league, by the way? Like, it's ridiculous. It really is.
Mm-hmm. It's insane.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, and I mean, like the way City are playing, that game could be anything. You know, we could come out and blow them away. They could blow us away. It could be a high scoring draw. It's like a really, that's going to be an exciting match. That's the early kickoff on the 21st of December. So this Christmas period is amazing. I mean, we got, Boxing Day, we go away to Newcastle. Then on the 30th, we got Brighton at home. So basically, like our December, by January 1st, we should kind of know where we are, I think.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. I know the Man City game is going to be the Melbourne Lions catch up, by the way. The Charles Dickens Tavern. So it'll be good to catch up with a bunch of the boys, because for us, Scott, it's one of our earlier kickoffs we get. 11:30 p.m. that one, so we'll be catching up, which will be good fun. So I know a few of the guys are heading down to watch that one.
Yeah, I love that kickoff. That's a prime time for over here in Perth. There's an 8:30 kickoff.
No.
8:30. Can you imagine how good that is?
What time's the kickoff for you on Wednesday morning?
Look, let's not talk about it. That's 4 a.m.
That's what time Forest kicks off for us.
Yeah.
So they are brutal, but it's why we do it. That's why we love it. So bring it on.
It is. Look, I wouldn't miss them because Villa are flying high and doing well, even though we've had some difficult moments this season. We had that terrible run. We're still in a really good position. And this Leipzig game, it could really set us up. I mean, if we get a big win here, after the 2 wins in the previous matches against Brentford and Southampton, look, we could be back in the top 8 of the Champions League and, back in the top 6 of the Premier League. So it's exciting times, and I'm really just looking forward to every game. I
can't wait.
I know that, there's a lot of people that were angry during that period where, we weren't winning games and we were throwing games away, and, but football's football. You always go through bad periods like that and good periods.
That's what I was saying. Yeah. Always keep the faith. I've got so much trust in Unai Emery. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, what he's done for this club in 2 years. I know we didn't win in 8 games. The fellow we didn't win in a year. Like, it felt like it was so long without a win. But it was only 8 games. It's a long season, and we've proved how close this league is. Like, we're now 6th, and we play 5th and 4th in the next 2 games in the league. Want to go about this one. I do hope Mings plays against Forest, because someone like Chris Wood, who's very good in the air, you need someone that's aerial dominant, like Tyrone Mings has shown to be.
Yeah, I'd go along with that. He would be a good match for Chris Wood, the Kiwi. It's crazy to see how well he's doing.
It really is. It really is.
He's just scoring every week. It's incredible. But hopefully we can make that run come to an end on Saturday night, and that's going to be great because that's the late game as well. So there'll be a lot of eyes on that game, and these sort of games, we've got to kind of stamp our authority and
absolutely
keep the run going. Look, so I guess the next thing we can talk about is just sort of the Leipzig game, and what kind of team do you think we'll expect for that? Do you think it'll be changes from Saturday? I'm expecting a few.
Well, there are a few players rested. Let me get the lineup up that we had against Southampton. I'll quickly go over it and have a quick look on who I think will be changed. So lineups. I think that Cash will go to right back, so no Carlos.
Yep.
I think it'd be Concert, Torres, and Digne, so Maatsen dropped.
Yes.
I think that Onana comes in, or Badace comes in for Bailey, and Watkins starts for Duran. So not many changes, but just a few. I'm not sure it was just me that think
that. Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, I don't know about Philogene. He's been
hit and miss, Scott, but we actually do need a wing in a fine form. So
it's true, but I could see maybe McGinn playing out there. And
but that doesn't help our issue, in my opinion. Like, I think we just really need someone to find some form for us.
It's true. I mean, like he does keep giving him chances, and same with Bailey, which is good, and it just shows that Emery doesn't forget like the sort of good work you have done, and he believes in this set of players. He doesn't like shut anyone out or anything like that. Like everyone is getting their moments, and look,
if they deserve it, they're getting it, and I think that's a great way to go about it. A lot of players have earned rights to put the shirt on, but no one's frozen out. Like we've seen under certain managers like Martin O'Neill, when he only plays certain players and whatnot, that no one could break into the squad, and it was very, very hard. But
yes,
it's a squad game. It's a squad mentality. There's not one player on our senior list I don't really trust. I trust all of them. And under Emery, like, he's going to get the best out of them. Like, we've even seen Bogard, Buendia, with some of those guys.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've really said that. Like,
I know, I agree.
That we sort of had two players from every position that we trust, I think that was the recruitment strategy in the summer, to try and
100%.
Maybe not buy 2 or 3 big names, but just buy 6 or 7 guys that are going to contribute. And the guys, the good bit of business we did with like the likes of Barkley, what we did with the Juventus, the Dougie Luiz deal, those guys have gone on loan, but I think they can, come back in next season. And, we got like Badace back. We got we got a lot going on. So that it's been good recruitment. And
it has been.
This busy part of the season is when I think they were targeting for those extra guys that, and Maatsen came in. I thought he did quite well against
he's
Southampton.
Bloody world-class player, in my opinion. He's a future world-class player because Champions League Team of the Year, people might have short memories because he hasn't been playing so much, but he was unbelievable for Dortmund last year, and Chelsea didn't really want to sell him. I don't think it's probably because of financial fair play they had to, but he's going to be a heck of a player. He's only like 21, 22 as well, by the way, and a Netherlands international.
And he's very different to Digne.
That's what you need. That's what you need. I hate when people say like we need to have 2 of this player. Well, you actually need to have different players in the squad game. Like if everyone plays the same brand of football, then if it goes against you, you're stuffed. If we want to go for the game, you put Digne on. Like probably against Southampton, we planned to, while we had Maatsen on the left, and Digne's that more, further back defender, puts a good ball in if he gets up and more defensively sound. But it's just you've got to have.
Maatsen gets forward quickly.
He's rapid.
As soon as we turn the ball over in transition, he's up there with the likes of
Rogers. And that's why he's different.
And Watkins,
that's why he's different, because I love Digne, but he can't get back as quick as Maatsen, obviously. So he's a genuine 2-way runner, and he can just go up and attack and then get straight back. And I'm excited to see him when he gets a run of games. Just like when Badace finally gets a run of games, I think with Bailey being out, it's a good opportunity for him. But I love this December, January time, Scott. There's a game every 2 days. Like, it's just a lot of football and I love it.
It is. There's a lot of Christmas crackers coming up, and not just on the table on Christmas Day. That's for sure. We got some big matches coming up, and
we do. We do.
It's not going to be long until we're sort of into the real business end of the season next year, and into the later stages of the Champions League. Fingers crossed.
The season goes quick.
It does. So we've got to really enjoy this time because. Look, we've spent a lot of years in the Championship, in the sort of lower part of the Premier League, kind of just getting by, not really with any direction or any kind of purpose from the club all the way through from the hierarchy. So we got a manager now who knows how to do it. We got top players. We got an ownership model and a board that are looking forward on being progressive and being looking to the future to try and get us up there with the best, and we're kind of knocking on the door right now and sort of over maybe, punching above our weight a little bit, getting into the top 4 last season. But, soon that'll just be like, oh yeah, Villa, they're always in and around the top 4, like it doesn't take long to change people's perceptions, and expectations are a good thing and a bad thing, like club, once you get into that top 4, lose a couple of games, and the fans can get a bit testy and a bit toxic on social media. We've all seen it,
Can they ever?
But you also get a respect like from the rest of the league, and that can help you attract players. It can help you, teams, will fear you a bit more as well, and on the pitch, you can kind of use that sort of, that weight of expectation in your favor and use it as a belief to push you on. And I think
100%.
I think Emery really leans on that sort of thing, like the history of the club, the size of the club, the fact that, we've deserved to be up there, in Europe, winning trophies and this sort of thing. So, I when we went through that run of defeats and draws, right? And then we beat Brentford. It was such a great feeling to remember, like how delicate this whole thing is, and like football's, you've got to earn every game. It doesn't matter if you're playing Southampton or Bayern Munich. It doesn't matter. Like form can be turned off and on in the flick of a switch.
Honestly, would you be surprised if Man City won the league still?
No.
Like they can do
Not
it.
Really.
Like it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like they're 8 points adrift in December, but they can still do it. They can go. They could not lose a game for the rest of the year, and they win the league by 10 points, whatever it is.
Would you be totally shocked if Chelsea won the league?
No.
And think about where they were this time last year.
I know, that's what I mean. Like the way they're playing right now, and the way that they can play. Like Chelsea destroyed us. Liverpool, they scored a couple of counter-attacking goals, but they took their chances. They're an unreal side. The way we know City can play, even Brighton, by the way, are they still top 4? Or I think they might be just below us at the moment. There are just so many good teams right now that are just play on their day.
Leicester got a couple of. Leicester got a couple of late goals.
Late goals, yeah, that's
kept us above them, which good.
Is nice. This is nice.
But it's so tight. If I look at the league here, let's go to the table.
Yeah, I have it. Let me see if I can share it. It might not work again, but I can give it a crack.
See if you can share it.
We'll see if it will let us. Let's have a look if it will. It'd be nice if it did.
So we got
Is that on?
No.
Damn. Don't think it's gonna have a bar.
Well, everyone can see it at home. But look, the Liverpool are pretty clear, 4 points clear. Chelsea are on 31 points. But then it's like Arsenal in third on 29, City on 27, Forest on 25. We're on 25. They're ahead just by 1 goal. Brighton 24, Bournemouth 24, Brentford 23, Fulham 23. And then you go down to Tottenham and Newcastle in 11th and 12th on 20. So between it's 9 points between 3rd and 12th.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
There you go. You've got it up now. So, yeah, if you look at that, 10 points between Arsenal in third and Man United in 13th, which is
Ridiculous.
always great to see them down there.
How good is that? I know my mate Droz, hopefully he's still here. He's a massive United fan, so he'll be loving that. Yes, he is.
Well, they have to get a new coach soon. Another one.
One.
They just keep going through them. It's like So I think this December period just shows that table how crucial it is to get as many points as we can. So
now,
how many points do you think we will get? Because I was going to do this
for the season or what?
Just for the rest of December. So
all right, I'm going to get the fixtures up. As you can see, I'll get them up.
Yeah.
So everyone can play along at home if you'd like.
Yeah, put in the
rest of December
section for the rest of December.
All right, do you want me to do mine?
Go for it. So
I think a draw against Forest.
Right.
I think we beat City. I'm going to say it now. We lose to Newcastle, and we always beat Brighton.
What? So that's 7 points from 4 games. I'm going to say the same, but I'm going to swap around. I think we'll beat Forest and draw with City.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to say 7 points as well. And look, I think that would be a pretty good haul. Look, if we could get something at Newcastle, it would be nice. But I don't remember the last time we won up there.
We don't. Not since we've been back in the Premier League, I don't think.
The only time I can even remember us winning there was that game. I think it was 2003, where the Newcastle players started fighting with each other. Yeah. I can't really remember another time we've won there. So yeah, look, I mean, 7 points I think would be a pretty good haul, and if we could beat Forest, I think that would keep them down below us. But look, all those teams that we play in the rest of December are all in and around us. It's basically 4 cup finals, that.
Oh, mate, 100%. I'm just doing a bit of research here. When was our last away win at St James's Park?
Yeah,
saying a lot of times that they beat us, and that's just fair enough. Because they do beat us a lot.
Yes.
Let's have a look.
I
don't know when we did, to be honest with you. There's a lot of defeats in this list, so I'm not going to even bother.
Mohammed Adam is saying 8 points, so
take that every day of the week.
He's thinking we get something away at Newcastle, I think.
Yeah.
We have to 2 draws, 2 wins.
Yeah.
So, I'd take that for sure.
Oh, I'll slap your hand off it right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right. So should we do predictions for this week, and then we can look at the fantasy ladder after that?
We can try to look at the fantasy ladder, but I'm definitely down to do some predictions. Do you want to go first while I try to sort out fantasy?
All right. So Leipzig away. I mean, I want to say we're going to win, but it's hard because they have a very good team. They'll definitely score some goals. So I'm going to say 3-2 Villa.
3-2 Villa.
Yeah, okay. I think it might be an interesting game, a high class game with lots of goals. And then Forest.
Forest.
I'm going to say 2-0 Villa. Keep the clean sheets coming.
Okay. I'm going to go a 3-1 win at Leipzig.
Oof.
They haven't won a game in the Champions League. I think we'll be well up for it because we need to. We got robbed of a win against Juventus, and I think we want to win here as well. And I think we will. I did say we'd draw to. Just know would draw to Forest. I don't remember.
You did say draw to Forest,
but I'm going to back a win anyway, Scotty. We're going to win 2-1. I can't not. I hate predicting us to lose. So we're going to win 2-1. Take out what I said. Doesn't even matter.
Well, that sounds great. Well,
this is my fantasy update. Couple of DNPs. Yeah, pros and cons.
Yeah.
And if you guys can see, I'm on the rise. Onanas look at that, by the way. Onanas in pajamas. Owen is 1 point below me. So I've got to keep pulling ahead. In bigger news, Coupe de Villa, 29 points this week.
It's been a shocker. It's been a shocking week. And my brother Justin is right on my heels now. He's had a crazy week, 69 points for him.
Yeah, you and Zulu had a shocking week, which I'd love to see that, by the way.
Yeah. Tommy's up in 5th.
Tommy's going about his business real quietly.
He's kind of just sticking along.
Cliff's back on the bottom, unfortunately, because Luca, who's in it, had a 74-point week.
Oof.
Mental.
How's he done that? Buemo?
And no replacement for no, will he? He should get 1 point from Romero, I think. Luca, that's a huge week. There's
still games tonight. There's still Wolves, West Ham tonight.
Oh, that's why. So you get an extra point there. That's ridiculous, Luca. Insane. It's all about who else is in there? Mohamed Adam.
Yeah.
14 points, Mo. What is going on?
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
I mean, Courtney's going to score 50, so he'll be fine there. Wow. What's going on there, Mohamed Adam?
That's not a good week.
Hey, I'm not complaining with mine. I'm on the rise. I'm slowly getting in mid-table mediocrity. There you go. Lower than United, I am at the moment, but there's also more people in the league. So, here we go. Coxie with the start. Last win at St James's Park. I think 3-0.
What's that game? That's the game.
That is the game.
It was 3-0, yeah. They had three-man centre. So, we're due one, but look, let's focus on this week first. And if we could get 2 positive results against a Leipzig and Forest, if we got a win and a draw either way, I think that would be good. 2 wins would be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to these games coming, Noah. I don't know what else to say, and I hope you guys are all looking forward to it. So please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Huge week coming up. Huge month coming up. So make sure you get subscribing. Tell your friends about it. And, we will be back after the Forest game to wrap up what is a huge week for Villa. So till then, up the Villa, and we'll see you next time.
Up the Villa.